This segment is sponsored by Con Est Software Systems.
Last week, I spoke with Gary Glader, president of Horton Safety Consultants, about predictive analytics. This week, I welcome him back to the show to discuss pre-employment strength testing and the impact it is having on the construction industry. So let's take a look at what he had to say. We all know that safety is paramount on the job site. And we're joining now on this part two of a second conversation that we've had with Gary Glader, who's the president of Horton Safety Consultants. Gary, welcome back.
Thank you.
So Gary, when we talked last time, we were talking about predictive analytics, but we never really got into our discussion that we wanted to have about the whole strength testing that you do. Can you go into that a little bit? Because I find that really interesting when you are able to talk about injuries and what you do with employees to help companies understand that. Let's talk a little bit about that.
So one of the things that frustrates contractors is finding qualified people, but when they find a qualified person, they hire that individual. 2 weeks later, the individual files a workers' compensation claim, and during the handling of the claim, they find out that this employee had suffered 3 previous injuries of shoulder, back, or knee, which puts the contractor on the hook for the cost of adjusting that claim. This strength testing technology is able to identify who the most qualified candidates are in terms of strength or the absence of pre-existing conditions likely to be injured.
So when we talk about strength testing and these kind of things, I mean, you're looking for trying to find out if they've had a pre-existing injury or something that maybe just happened on the job site, right? Is that what you're really analyzing?
Exactly. We're trying to determine if the candidate that they're looking at possesses the strength they need to do the job. One of the things that can cause the candidate not to have enough strength is a previous condition that has not been fully rehabilitated.
Are you finding some things now, some of the things that you're looking at, you know, for union jobs? I mean, there's a lot of things that come up. I know are certain places that, you know, unions really have a chance to look at a lot of things. I know there's a lot of litigation that involves in that. What comes up there?
We have union contractors that are using this technology, and part of the bargain that a union has with a contractor is to supply qualified labor capable of performing the job. The test that we administer simply determines whether or not that union member actually possesses the strength and physical ability to do the job.
Well, I can imagine at some point you're getting some pushback on this, I would imagine.
No doubt, no doubt. Although in the cases where it has been grieved and challenged, those challenges have been overcome by the legitimacy of this test, which happens to be approved under federal labor law.
So now you're doing this in construction. Are you doing it in other industries? What kind of things are happening with this?
Very physical industries such as construction, manufacturing, industry, transportation. Any job where an individual is required to use strength in order to get the job done.
When you look at this overall, and you're looking what's happening in construction right now, workers need to be on the job site. They need to be there. And we know that construction is a very labor intensive. And right now, construction is really very busy right now. Jobs are at an all-time high, I would say, and maybe that's an exaggeration, but we see that we're doing a lot. They're working long hours. Is this strength testing proving a lot of things right now, good or bad, that you're finding out?
Absolutely. To your point, it is a very strong market right now. The economy is strong, heating up. Many contractors just need that warm body on the job. Our challenge is to make sure that the bodies that they do have on the job are physically capable of doing the work. But the test is very effective in screening out those candidates not capable of doing the job.
Does it take a long time to get these results, or are these something you find out pretty quickly?
Test takes 15 minutes to administer, and we get the results immediately.
What do you kind of do to actually physically do these tests? What do you do to put these folks through them?
It's actually a machine. It looks a lot like it's a machine. It's a machine that utilizes technology called isokinetic technology. Originally, physical therapists used this technology to rehabilitate individuals. Now it can be used to evaluate persons based upon the strength that they have. Interestingly, the NFL uses it at the combine. When you're making that kind of an investment in a player, you want to know that their body parts are up to speed.
So right now, is it expensive for companies to actually go through this, or is it the return on investment finding out to be very profitable for them, or Worthwhile, I should say.
Each test is $150, and any contractor who's had a shoulder, back, or knee claim knows and understands that that's a small investment to avoid a soft tissue injury claim.
I'll tell you, Gary, it's been really great having you. Thank you so much for joining us again. I
Thank you.
appreciate it. Gary Glader, he's the president of Horton Safety Consultants. Thank you so much for joining us again today on Safety Zone. And don't forget, as we've been telling you, we want you to like, share, and subscribe on YouTube. So that's our Safety Zone for today.